guys, welcome back. So I'm about to do some acrylic pouring, but I just thought I'd just drop in and show you where I get some of my acrylic skins, because some people actually don't know where I get them from. So normally I have a bit of baking paper that I use onto desk, which any pour off will go onto, and once it's dried it will just be very easy to peel off. But the ones that I think a lot of people forget about is these. So this is a plastic pot. I find plastic pots are so much easier to use when it comes to resin and acrylic skin pours. It's a weird surface, so if it was paper, yes, it's paper cups, it's better for the environment. However, once you use it once, you have to throw it away, so actually leveling it up. Plastic cups are a lot more easier because they're multi-use. I've literally had these for years, and it's so much easier to peel out the resin and acrylic because you can just break it and disturb the mould, which is what I'm doing now. So this cup has had about 3 different pours in it, and when it comes to using PVA glue as your acrylic medium for making acrylic pours, better to have basically the more layers you have of it the better. But if you're using like Floetrol or an actual pouring medium, I think you can get away with 1 or 2 uses before you can actually peel it off and it to be thick enough to be able to use for whatever reason you want to do it for. But as I use mine for mixed media, I kind of multi-layer it, so I can get away with maybe 3 or 4 or 5 different layers until I need to peel it off, because you can leave it. However, when you're mixing and reusing it, you're going to start getting bits that are going to flake off, like that little bit there. That'll start to flake off and get into your mixture, and then it just influences your acrylic pours rather than what you want it for to be, basically. So I'll just peel off this little bit. She says little bit, and it's literally a large portion of the cup. Okay, so you can tell all the different colours that I've used amongst this pour, and it creates these wonderful skins that can go away and be used for whatever reason you use them for. Basically, I tend to use mine for mixed media pieces. That includes collage use, or I use them for making larger silicone discs. But to be honest, you could use this for jewellery. You can use it for anything really, as long as you make the most out of it. So I'm just going to start peeling out these bits. That's a bigger piece. Right there you can tell the white was the last one I used, but underneath you can see there's multiple different layers of it. It is a good idea as well if you've got a few layers of acrylic paint, and maybe if you use water so it's a bit thinner and easier to break, maybe use resin in your pots, because then you can get, well, it's easier to come off and it will pick up any little bits that you have left over. This is a wonderful bit that I've just obviously peeled out. The bottom is always a lot thicker than the rest, so when you do leave it to dry, make sure the pot is turned upside down onto your baking paper so you can get off these amazing marks and you don't get as much of a thick base, because the thicker the base, believe it or not, is actually harder to take out in one piece. And there's another piece there, a lovely blue influence. Just some lovely marks that you can get from it, which you can use for anything, like I said. Let's do a few more because I always enjoy this process the most, well, one of the most, compared to all the other cleanup bits and pieces that you have to do. Okay, you can see that's a little bit thin to work with. However, I'm just going to rip it off and leave it in there. So this pot is probably going to be best used for the mixture pot, as in if you're doing a flip cup, you can just pour it in because then you're not scratching anything off the sides or anything. But saying that, the bottom section is thick enough to work with and take off. So yeah, probably want to leave the rest of it and use this one as your mixture pot. So at least then the layers that I've just taken off will be replaced with stronger layers. And we have this, which is actually still a little bit wet, so probably best to leave, but you can see all the lovely different layers and colours that we've got, and another blue and white influenced one. Put it to one side so it doesn't dry weird. And so this is an example, a clear example of one that you just need to leave because it's way too thin. You can definitely tell by the transparency of looking through the pot, which is also useful because it's plastic, so you can see right through it. Same again with this one, but the very bottom of the pot I think can come out because it's separated from the pot. I'll just take that out, and there you go. Lovely bit of black and multicolours, so you can see that it's red intentionally, and then you just got a black surface with some influences of yellow and white and a little bit of a weird creamy colour. So yeah, there we have it. I thought I'd just drop in and just show you basically how I get my acrylic skins if anyone wanted to know, because I do know that someone did ask about it, and I thought instead of just stating the obvious about the baking paper, you can use the skins that you get from your cups. If you guys have any more questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll do my very best to answer them. And there's also links in my description box to my social medias and also my eBay selling account, which is where you'll find all my artworks I feature on my channel. There's also a PayPal donation page. If you'd like to make a donation, that'd be greatly appreciated. But if not, please just like and subscribe. It really does help me out. I'm getting closer to the marker of being able to be financially stable within my art practice, and that means more videos, more content, more me, more happiness, and a lot more experimentation as well. So yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you later.